All right, welcome back to another episode of Transformation Chamber. Today is a little different, man. I came out to Dallas, Texas to do a couple interviews, and I reached out to my network. And I wanted to find somebody who was influential and an entrepreneur in Dallas, Texas that was well respected. And when I tell you this young man's name came up so much, I was like, okay, he must be the guy. Shot him a DM and said, hey, man, I'm in Dallas. And he hit me right back. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Joe Aguilar.
Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate having me on.
Man, appreciate you for responding and getting with me in a matter of a couple of days. I know it wasn't easy, but I really, really appreciate it. And so, man, I'll give y'all a little bit about Joe. Again, I read his bio. I'm impressed, and I think he has a message to share with people and that we can take something from him. So, yeah, man, Joe is you've been teaching for 7 years, correct?
Yeah,
7 years. He's a teacher. He's an Army veteran, and thank you for your service, by the way.
Absolutely.
And then also he's the owner and CEO of Living Legend Beard Co., and I got a little gift bag. I'm excited to put it to use in a little bit. So Joe, man, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you came from, and how you got to the point where you are now.
Man, I mean, my background's kind of crazy, man. It's definitely unorthodox in the way that I came up. It's a humbling experience from the fact that I came from a humble beginnings. Mm-hmm. Everything that I've done has been a gift of resilience and blessings that I've had.
That's what's up.
When I started out, I worked for Coca-Cola. I was there for 9 years. I feel like I hit the glass ceiling because I was trying to get into management, and it just seemed like I'm not sure what it was, but I couldn't get over the hump, regardless of my experience and my education. So I ended up joining the Army. Got through with that so I could finish my school.
Nice.
So once I finished school, I hopped around. It took me 11 years to get my bachelor's degree, but I got it done.
Talk about resilience.
Yeah, man. I had 3 kids along the way, twins. So it was crazy. I was working overnight, taking care of the boys in the day. It was just a lot going on, going to school.
Wow.
So I finally finished up, got my degree. So I decided to, go ahead and go into teaching and go into coaching, because that's really what my passion was sports.
Yeah.
And from that point, I just became real inspired by my students and seeing that they were willing to learn. And because of that hunger to learn, I wanted to do that myself.
Beautiful.
So for that point, I was like, man, let me go ahead and, I got a degree in business. So I was like, let me go and push and try to get into those aspects.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so really, what came about it is just I got out the military, so I had to shave in the military, obviously.
Right,
I had clean face.
Right.
Once I got out, I could grow my beard out. So when I was growing my beard out, it was always patchy. It was always itchy. It was always had dandruff and stuff. And I was like trying to find products.
Anthony Hamilton going on.
Yeah, it wasn't to that extent, man. But it definitely needed It needed a boost, a beard boost, man.
Yeah,
I started studying. I reached out to a lot of people. Everything that I bought off the shelf, man, honestly, it just wasn't for us. You know what I'm saying? People of ethnicity.
True enough.
So what I ended up doing is just studying essential oils and natural oils and started mixing my own stuff.
Nice.
Right? And so from that point, I gave my brother. My brother was like my guinea pig.
Yeah.
So he has a beard too. I give it to him. He's like, man, this is something right here.
That's what's up, man.
And so from there, we just started rolling with it.
I love it, bro. I love the story, man. Talk about, man, you talked about resiliency. I want to know off back, why didn't you just quit school? Like, 11 years to get something that, ideally should take about 4 years. What was going on in your head to say, I'm going to keep trying? Like,
man, that's always been my motto since I was little. I've always been hard-headed and stubborn, and I'll try something over and over until I get it right.
Nice.
So I always set the goal. I always told my mom, I said, I want to give you 4 degrees. Right. So from that point, I got my, my high school diploma. I ended up getting my associates, and I was like, well, my next step is my bachelor's.
Right.
But it was so hard because you got to balance life.
Absolutely.
And also you become an adult.
Absolutely.
So that adulting in itself is a tough mix.
Absolutely.
So I just kept going. I was like, and then once I had sons, I was like, how can I be a leader to them?
Absolutely.
Right? Without setting an example.
That usually does it right
so
there.
So that's really what it was.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
My son was definitely inspired.
Man, when I had my son, bro, I feel like I became a new man.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? I had to humble myself even more, but the grind got real. I had a time out for a lot of different stuff. I'm like, yo, he's growing. A clock is ticking to where I need to be able to pour into him. You know what I mean? Because my pops wasn't around for me. Okay. Even not that he didn't want to be around. He had a different situation, but I realized like, yo, I got to be able to leave something, right? I got to be able to pass something along, and I got to be able to instill in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And one of the worst things is when you feel like you got something to give to your son, but your son don't quite respect you because you haven't really accomplished anything.
Right.
And so that's why you got to put that in the forefront as well at this age now.
Absolutely.
What are you doing now that your children's going to grow up and say, okay, I think I see my pops navigate through this. This is something I can do too.
Absolutely.
Okay, man. Here's a question I got for you. I talk about this a lot, and I love to ask people, and I don't know if you've given much thought to it. But is there a purpose behind everything you do when you wake up? Do you know your why?
Absolutely. I've always been strategic. That's part of the reason why I feel like I am a good coach. Right. I was in the military, so obviously that was embedded in our brain as far as being tactical. And so, and also it's always about being, what's it called? Interpersonal efficiency.
Okay.
And that's making sure that you make the most of every action that you take.
I love it.
So I've read a lot of books and really just try to gain knowledge and making myself better. And for that reason, every time I wake up, I'm always trying to be better than I was the day before.
I love it. I would love it. Can you think of something that has happened in your life that completely shifted your mindset?
Well, obviously, I having twins. My first time being a father was twins.
Man,
so
right out the gate.
I remember going to the doctor and then they were like, it's a boy. So I was excited, like, man, I'm having a boy.
Yeah.
I was like, and they said, well, at least it's not twins. And he was like, nah, it is.
Oh, wow.
So from that point, my mindset was like, man, I got to work double to make sure that I set an example and to leave a legacy for my sons.
Wow, that's what's up, bro. So now Living Legend Beard Co., I saw that you're shipping nationally, like all 50 states, and then even 8 countries.
8 country international countries.
What's that like for you now, and what do you see moving forward?
Man, I really, like I said, it's humbling because it's just the fact that something that you start out, making in your kitchen, is global, and people that a thing that you make, people crave and want.
Absolutely,
and it helps them in their life.
Absolutely,
right? And that's what really like motivates me is the fact that it's not. I tell people all the time, man, I don't sell beard care products. I sell confidence, right? Because when you take care of yourself, grooming, right, you feel better. And once you feel better and you look better, you perform better in every aspect of your life. Absolutely. So that's really part of the reason that it just pushes me. So moving forward, what I'm really just trying to continue to do is to scale, because I am a Black-owned business, right? And I'm also a small business. So I want to just be able to scale and let people know about the products that I offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why is it important for you as a Black-owned business? You said that proudly. Like, why is that important for you to operate in excellence? We get a stigma. I think a lot of Black businesses get the stigma. It's like, oh, we get to give them a pass on customer service because it's Black-owned, quote unquote. How are you setting your business apart with it being a Black-owned business?
Well, I really don't. I just look at it as not even as a Black-owned business. It's got my name on it. Anything that I put my name to, I expect excellence. So for that reason, I want to make sure that people understand that Living Legend Beard Co. is exclusive. That's why I say it's an exclusive beard care product. So you're going to get not only exclusive products, but you're also going to get exclusive customer service.
Dope. Talk about a time where you could have, you thought Living Legend Beard Co. wasn't going to work, and you could have quit, and why, and what made you push forward? Man,
really, it was just coming to the point where just the aspect of starting a business and trying to really, I got my degree in business management and marketing. So I knew that the marketing aspect is what's going to set me apart from everybody else.
Gotcha.
So not that I looked at my competitors, but I just made sure that I stood out from them. So I think what it was is whenever I got to a point where I saw the big brands, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that point because my budget is not like that. Right. So my career being a teacher is what funds my business. I haven't had people fund. I've had one person that somebody I grew up with and played ball with since I was in 6th grade. That was like, hey man, here goes some money. I believe in you.
That's dope. Shout out to the homie.
Yeah, shout out to Amai.
There we go. That's dope, bro. Okay, so talk about so now the business is going, you got people putting into you, and you're coaching and teaching at the same time. What is your biggest thing for the kids that are looking up to you right now outside of your sons? Obviously, we already talked about the importance of a father, but you are helping shape the minds of the future. When you go into those rooms, what is it that's ringing in your head and your mind as you transfer knowledge and energy to these kids?
I think what I just had this discussion with my one of my coworkers, and I was telling them we have a lot of teachers there's a lot of teachers just in the industry that are very academic, and they want to make sure those kids know those things, and that's their way of influencing, and that's their way of assessing them as a teacher. For me, it doesn't have nothing to do with grades.
Okay.
For me, it's them looking up to me, and then me saying something that might not have anything to do with math, science, history, that gets them to change their life. So a lot of times, and especially when it comes to my brown and Black athletes, student athletes, and is saying stuff that tells them, like as far as in with me, they see me with my son. My sons go to my school.
Dope.
Some of my twin sons are in one of my classes.
Wow.
So them seeing my interaction with them and always being there for them, I want to inspire people to. It might be hard. It's hard being a dad, but to always be there for their kids, and then that sets that generational foundation for them to be able to be influenced, and everybody to be able to just have that core structure that we need. I feel like as a society.
Man, I agree 100%. Man, that's crazy. I'm gonna touch on that, but like the fact that you teaching your sons, like that's super dope that they get to see you in your element.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
And they trying to get used to it. I mean. It's different. Yeah. And they, a lot of times they'll catch themselves. They'll be like, Coach Ed, you know what I'm saying? And just that fact. But at the end of the day, that level of respect that we have, and they know that I'm really just trying. They see me outside of the schoolhouse. So they know like the work that I put in. So I think that they kind of just like sit back and chill and kind of proud, but really don't say nothing.
Yeah, they can't say too much. Yeah. So you said something really important, and I don't know that I actually have a question. Just speak to it. And I want to make sure it's articulated well, because I think you articulated well, but just to dive into it some more, like a lot of times, especially for me, I come from a hood in Houston, Texas, northeast side, where like half the kids who were at school didn't really want to be there. And teachers' way of trying to get them motivated was to try to teach them more and drilling them more the curriculum. When you said something like, and I've seen this happen, if you can connect to them on another level, that then influences the way that they are willing to learn and what they're willing to take home and how to and become better students. And so I just think that's dope that you're able to recognize it and remember like what you needed when you were younger. You know what I'm saying? Right. Same thing for me, right? So to be honest with, like I was always a kid who did my work, but if you wanted to motivate me, it wasn't by giving me more work. It was like, hey, this is what you're trying to be, or I've been there before too, or like just putting a hand on my shoulder. And then that made me realize like, okay, coach actually rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially my coach. Coaches are a pivotal, play a pivotal role in the development of young men and women. I had a Coach Ponce, shout out to him. He still supports me to this day. Bro, like he used to come pick me up for school in the morning. If I didn't have a ride, take me home. You know what I'm saying? Like made sure I start, even probably when I didn't deserve to start on certain teams. Right. But he knew I was a leader though. You know what I mean? And so what he was doing was shaping me right there to say, yo, Moses, that's what he used to call me too. It's so funny. He called me Moses because Moses was a leader in the Bible. He was like, Moses, like basically as long as you're doing what you got to do, you're going to find a way to be picked out of the crowd, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you're not the best at what the skill is, a leader doesn't have to be the best person or the smartest person, but they're still you can still be a first round pick just because you have a certain skill to be able to grow and shine light on the right way to do something or the best way to do something. Right. So
that makes sense, man.
Man, yeah. I mean, I just want to, I digress on that real quick. So man, tell us, living in the D, growing up 3 boys, all that went on, with George Floyd, right? Breonna Taylor, Elijah McClain. Where were you with all that? Like, where your heart and your mind at with all that, and what's the conversation like with your boys as well?
Man, so first, is obviously I've dealt with racial injustice, and I have this conversation with my colleagues last week. We had a meeting, and I told them since the first time when I got my driver's license, my mom was like, "We're gonna let you go by yourself." And the first place I went was to Williams Chicken to get the dinner for the family, right? So I was with my homie, shout out to Debo, and we were coming back. I stopped at a stop sign, and I was driving home, and I was turning in. As I was turning on my street, cops hit the light.
Wow.
Pull us over, right? Yeah. There's 2 16-year-old black boys in the car. Yeah. Ask, what you doing? What you got? Man, I got some chicken for my family, right? Yeah. My mom walks outside. He tells her, "Man, go back inside." Oh, boy. So from that point on, there's always been an issue, you know what I'm saying, of just being harassed. So I've dealt with that my whole life. Racial profiling, I've dealt with my whole life with police, right? I know police have a tough job, but I know that the system is set up and was set up to contain power for a certain group of people. And for that reason, there's a lot of fear that's brought into it by the potential of minorities, right? And I feel like that's part of what the problem is. So a lot of it is just there's a lot of fear. Gotcha. And for that reason, it's bad for everybody. Yeah. And so the George Floyd stuff, I feel like those police officers, they were scared, right? They were scared. And let's just be real. Like, a lot of black men are intimidated because of the stigmas that are placed on black people.
Especially in the media.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for that reason, a lot of people that haven't dealt with black people in other cultures, right, are going to be scared of those cultures, right? You know, I'm trying to think of the Asian culture when they get together. If you noticed, they're very loud, right? And not in a bad way. It's just the way that they are, very animated, the way they communicate with each other. Gotcha. So for me looking at it, if they speak to me a certain type of way, I might take it as they're being offensive or hostile, and they're really not, just the way that they are, right? And so if you don't diversify the people that you're around, then you're not going to understand it. And I think a lot of police officers are so stuck with being around a certain type of people. So when they get in the community, they get frightened because they don't understand those type of things. So it's bad. So and part two to that is when this stuff went on, Dallas had a protest downtown, and my boys were in Florida, but it was important to me because I knew that this is history, and I wanted to make sure that I was there to stand up for what was right. And because I've dealt with that my whole life, having police pull guns out on me, being arrested, with a clean record, right, with a clean record, a teacher, right? I say, man, I've been pulled over going to West Texas for a mission. Pulled me out the car, asked me if I had guns and stuff. They popped the trunk, and until they saw all of my military equipment, and then they got all, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, thank you for your service, right? And then let me get back and go on my way. I've dealt with that stuff. It's, you know what I'm saying? That's wild. So when they were down there, the first night they protested, and the police started shooting tear gas, and it went crazy down here. I was there, right? Okay. I went live on my Instagram, right? So I went live on my Instagram, and you can see. And the reason why I wanted to do that was to make a stand for what's right. But I also wanted to be there to see for myself, because we see the media will portray certain things that are not true. Absolutely. So they were saying, basically they were saying like black people were just acting crazy, when that really wasn't the case. What it was is the police were so amped up. Like I saw a police walk over to the group of the riot and said, I heard him say, because I could have touched the police shields, right? Yeah. I heard him say, if you see anything, we're going to make sure that we get the instigator. Take care of the leader. So if somebody got loud, and eventually somebody got loud and something, they shot tear gas. You shoot it up in the air, they shot the canister right at the dude, hit him in the chest.
That's insane,
and it went crazy from there. And then from there, everybody started looting, everybody started going crazy. Not everybody, but there were a lot of people that were doing it. And it rolled into about 2 weeks worth of craziness downtown. You know what I'm saying? That's and that leaked into other cities doing it as well. So there's just such a tension, and it just bothers me because I wouldn't say it's an easy fix, but I would wish that people would open their eyes up to the systematic racism that's in America.
A lot of people scared too, because they've been benefiting from it so long.
Absolutely.
They don't want to face that reality. He's like, well, they don't want, if they face the reality now, they got to even the playing field. You got to do some reprimanding and some reparations probably, and say, okay, we haven't been being fair, so how can we even the playing field? And that's going to be a tough conversation for a lot of people on the other side. So, okay, so more specifically, I'm curious of what are you telling your boys to like how to interact with police, how to view police, and how to carry them and conduct themselves as young black men right now?
Right. So I always say, like I said, I was in the military. So for me, as always, you respect the position. You might not have to respect that person, but you respect that position.
That's real.
And for that reason, and there's a lot of times where I've been pulled over with my boys in the car. So they see the interaction that I have with the police officers. I tell them, always show your hands. Yes, sir. No, sir. No quick movements. And because you got to really realize, like, man, are you going to argue with the police officer? Or are you going to live? And die, or are you gonna just do what you got to do to make it through the day, right? You get you a ticket, and obviously it's sad that we have to condition ourselves for disrespect, right, and injustice. But life is what it is, right? We can't change the future if we're not around to do it. So I really tell them, man, that's not even just with police, just with everybody, just be respectful, right? Carry yourself the right way, understand who you are. So you're a black young man. So people are going to look at you different. So you got to carry yourself a certain way. So my mom always says, the way that you look attracts people to you.
For sure.
And the way that you speak and the way that you articulate and the way you communicate is what gets people's attention. Right. So if people see you as a black man, what comes out of your mouth is what can get them to understand and respect you a little bit more than they might have, right?
I love it,
so
bro.
So that's just really how it is, man.
I love it, bro. I'm just curious now, what you've been a military person, and I can obviously hear that you're a thought leader and an intellectual. What are there a certain set of principles that you operate by just in general, like especially because I know people in the military, they usually like, if it don't meet these values or these principles, it ain't what it is. And I'm curious, like, what principles do you guide your life by?
I really just, for me, is the biggest one for me is accountability, right? You can't grow if you don't acknowledge and take be accountable for your actions, good, bad, or indifferent. So no matter what you do, always hold yourself accountable. If you do wrong, then just say, hey, I did wrong, then what can I do to move forward? And life, it really is trial and error. So accountability is the necessity. If I had one word to describe what I've strived to do, is to hold myself accountable.
I rock with it. I rock with it 1,000%. Okay, man, we're going to do something called rapid fire.
Okay.
So rapid fire is I say something and you just respond as quick as you can. Try not to think. It's nothing crazy though.
Okay.
So I say green, you say trees. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. All right. So we're going to start with wealth.
Future.
Success.
Necessary.
Africa.
Foundation.
Style.
Fashion.
Power or respect?
Money.
Okay, this is a this or that thing. My bad. Power or respect? Choose one of those.
Respect.
Deaf or blind?
Deaf.
Would you rather work a high-paying job that you hate or just enough money to get by and love your life?
Enough money to get by. Yeah.
This one random. Would you rather get a text from a one-night girl to say I'm pregnant or have an incurable STD? I gotta throw a curve.
Let me get pregnant. Let me get pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Pregnant for $3,000. I was just messing with you. I usually try to throw in one goofy one in there, man. But that's a rapid fire, bro. It's meant to just get people insight on how your mind works. The people want to know. You said you reading a lot of books earlier. The people want to know, what books are you reading? What shows are you watching? Or videos are you watching? And then also, what are you listening to?
Okay. Books that I'm reading right now. I just finished that 50 Cent. Also, I can't even think what it's called.
I don't know the name of it, but my brother keep telling me I need to read it.
It's a great book.
I'm gonna put it in the show notes for y'all.
It was the best book I've read.
Really,
it really changed my mind on the way that I move, the way that I think.
Yeah,
and I was very impressed. I have a lot of respect for 50 Cent. As crazy as he is, he has a mastermind.
He does.
So definitely that. I think it's a hustle. Man, I can't even think what it is.
I'm about to find it right now.
But that book. I'm also reading David and Goliath. Man, I can't even think of who the author is, and I have quite a few of his books. But that one's really just about overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, 50 Cent, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's great.
By Curtis Jackson, for people know him as 50 Cent.
Those two books right now is the ones that I'm kind of just working on. When I get time, I just sit back and just kind of get my mind right, through a couple of pages and just go from there.
For sure. What are you listening to?
Man, right now I'm on that K Camp.
Okay.
That K Camp, man, I can't.
That's what's up.
I just, my partner just put me on it. Yeah. Is it Kiss 5?
I don't know the name.
I think it's Kiss 5, man. Okay. You got it. That's hard. It rolls, bro. Okay. Even when you want to skip a song, you can't. Yeah. And it just, the melody is dope.
That's what's up. Yeah, he good with the melodies,
and
man.
I just got off that Big Sean.
Okay, yeah.
And then before that, I was on that Nas Strong, that new Nas.
Really?
That Nas go hard.
Really?
Man.
I saw somebody posted the other day.
His production, I mean, it's dope.
Big Sean jamming out here, man.
Yeah, Big Sean
came with it. Where we at? Obituary question. So this question is, at your long way from now, at your funeral, what do you think people are saying about you? Or what do you think your obituary says?
Man, legends never die.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the main thing that I want to do everything. So I told my homeboy that. I said, he's like, man, why you doing this stuff? And I said, because I want to. I can. It's life. You only get one life to live. So I want them to say, when they say, Joe Aguilar, they're going to say, what did he do? They're going to say everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I want to inspire other people to do, is to try whatever you want.
Yeah. That's real. And the last thing, man, parting advice. What's the greatest piece of advice either you heard or that you like to give people when you can just leave them with wording? And it could be either of the two.
Man, really, I have a Bible scripture that I have, and it's all hard work earns a profit, but and that's really what it comes down to, and mere talk only leads to poverty, right? So everybody's always saying they have these ideas,
Yeah.
but nobody wants to just do it. You just got to go out there. You just got to roll the dice. I'm a basketball coach, man. You got to shoot the shot like Kobe, man. You got to put the shot up. You got to. You know what I'm saying? Not be afraid to fail.
Who said I don't know if it was Jordan. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I can't remember.
I think it was, but that's real though, man. You really got to like there's so much people that sit on their talent.
Yeah.
And it's sad because it's like, man, just put that out there. You never know, what you can do and how you can kind of develop yourself as you go, because it really is trial and error. So you need to fail in order for you to be able to
absolutely,
understand success.
No, I live by it, man. You got to be willing to get out there. Will Smith, fail early, fail fast, and fail often. You know what I mean? Like, just fail until you win.
Yeah.
Keep trying. So I had to, even with the podcast, when I wanted to start it, I was supposed to start it a year ago.
Okay.
I kept being like, but I don't got this and I don't know about that now. And then pandemic hit. I was like, man, I'm about to do it. No matter how I come out, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So here we are in the second installment of the Transformation Chamber, and I'm rocking with you. I'm all the way in Dallas, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's growing, and I'm grateful. So, man, I really, really appreciate you for coming on, man. Especially just off the strength of people in Dallas, man. Just know your name is good in the city. You know what I mean? Like a lot of good people. I'm like, man, who is this? They're like, oh, he good people. I'm just like, that's what's up. So
appreciate that.
Whatever you're doing, bro, keep building it. Much love to you, your sons, and everything you got going on, man. This has been another episode of the Transformation Chamber. Thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Transformation Chamber. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. To find out more about Joe Aguilar, follow him at Mr._NiceWatch_. To find out more about the Transformation Chamber, follow me at Joshua T. Dada or visit my website at joshuatdada.com. Till next time, peace.